Welcome to Ball Talk Deep, where we talk deep about ball. It's Andrade, and today we're going to talk about Blake Griffin officially signing with the Brooklyn Nets. If y'all don't know, the rumors were heavy all over AllStar Weekend, or weekend per se. It was more so just Sunday. Originally, I was going to post on Monday a reaction to the All-Star game and the All-Star Weekend, like the dunk contest, the three-point contest, the skills challenge, but it's not really worth it, y'all. If you missed the All-Star event, just know that it was cool. It did what it was supposed to do. I don't think it was that boring. It didn't live up to, like, past All-Star events for the most part, but it wasn't bad. And it for me personally, it was everything I expected it to be. It was a good event. Shit went down. Curry killed the third 3-point contest. That actually went down to like the wire type shit, and it was exciting. The dunk contest was, I think, what most of us expected. It was chill. Some decent dunks, nothing crazy. I think we've all been very spoiled with the Aaron Gordon Zach LaVine duo, and I even saw a tweet how in the second matchup they did, which I think was 2015 or 16, how spoiled we were with that contest in general, not just from LaVine and Gordon, but even the other participants. So it is what it is. It was just halftime three, whatever. And then lastly, the All-Star game was the All-Star game. Damon, Curry, were jocking up threes, making, I think they both shot 50%. And Antetokounmpo somehow ended up with the MVP. Rightfully so. He was 100% on the field, even though it's just the All-Star game. But I think Curry or Dame could have won it. More so Curry, because Curry was just lining up in the first half that he was like the talk. He was trending. He had just won the 3-point contest. So to me, it even made sense. Like, man, this man just came from the 3-point contest, won it. The rate he's going, I expected him to win the All-Star MVP, and that would have been just like the cherry on top, because Curry's been having this season, and the Warriors aren't. So this is Curry's season. This is the year for him to do all his individual accolades and records or whatever. But yeah, all right. Sorry for the side rant. No, we weren't supposed to talk about this for this long. But let's get back to the Blake Griffin signing. Blake Griffin officially on the Brooklyn Nets. It's just crazy. This isn't huge, but it's noticeable. It's a significant move for the Nets, who have just been doing the unexpected this season. So, they signed James Harden. Now they got Griffin. They had made other moves prior, like Shumpert and others, and then they let go of them, which now it makes sense looking back. And yeah, it's just they technically have an all-star lineup for an NBA team. Like, it was something I tweeted immediately after the signing. Like, look at that: Kyrie Irving, James Harden, Kevin Durant, Blake Griffin, and DeAndre Jordan. Like I said in the tweet, I don't care if they're all not in their primes, but that's still an all-star squad. And I mentioned this earlier. Check out our card in our Blake Griffin video where he should sign, or what he should look into if it wasn't the Brooklyn Nets. I had said the Heat, but that's not the point. The point is that everybody was like, "Oh, Blake Griffin is washed, whatever, etc., etc." Look, you guys got to keep in mind that a player is not going to put full effort if they're done with an organization, if they're done with a city. And Griffin had reached that point with Detroit. Like, he had definitively reached that point with Detroit. So I expect his field goal percentage, just his overall efficiency, his effort on court on both sides, defense and offense, and maybe his points, rebounds, who knows, to go up the rest of the season. If not, at the very least, I expect his efficiency to go up and his effort on both sides of the floor, offense and defense, to go up. Even if he is mitigated to just a role player, the guy, he's only 31, still got it. Probably going to be a crazy good role player, and probably going to be starting a lot of the games, because him and Jordan can interchange for center, or they can play alongside each other, especially during the playoffs. So keep that in mind. And in the playoffs, when it comes down to crunch time, or the important quarters, or the important segments in the games, that I expect to see all those five that I mentioned on the floor together, if their chemistry by after the second half of the season playoffs start is good to go. So yeah, and then looking at the numbers, this is according to Shams, Blake Griffin is gonna wear number 2 with the Nets, and He will earn 1.2 million for the remainder of the season with Brooklyn, and don't forget he did get the buyout from Detroit, so he's getting paid regardless of this 1.2 mil, and which is actually less than the max he could have gotten from Brooklyn. So it goes to show how much he was willing to sacrifice for that title. And for me, that's good news because it goes to show how much he's probably going to sacrifice. Like, there's no ego. It's what I said when James Harden got put on the team. Like, there was a whole lot of talk about chemistry, etc., dynamics, how it's gonna work. Because Kyrie, Harden, and KD are known for, less so KD, but for like ball hogs or whatever you want to call them. They play a lot with the ball in their hands. But Harden, KD, and Kyrie understood each other, in my opinion, from an outsider's perspective. Like, they're both like outsiders in the NBA or whatever, and I just feel like they got each other. And it's been going. This I said before the trade got even made. And it goes to show they've been doing that. And I expect Blake Griffin to do the same thing. Because if you think about it, Griffin is also kind of considered an outsider in the NBA a lot, in the sense of, like, remember the rumors like he's soft, he's a pussy, whatever. Like, I don't believe in rumors too much. Like, I think a lot of times people get misjudged in the NBA from the outside, or even their fellow colleagues in the league. So in that sense, think about it. Like Kyrie, KD, James Harden, Blake Griffin, who have all been leaders and franchise faces for a team, have also all had their shit with the media. So they all get each other, I think, in that sense. And with that being said, I think that makes a lot of sense. And you can even throw DeAndre Jordan in there, because remember, he got his media debacle when he backtracked from going to the Mavericks. So in that sense, I think they all get each other. They all know, and that goes a long way, because that humanistic understanding and that deeper understanding translates on the court. Now, I think they all have the talent and skills to adapt to each other, and then also make that work on the court. So that's why I'm not so focused on that aspect, like the on-ball aspect, the on-court aspect, because they've all proven themselves. They're all known ballers. So yeah, when Kyrie and KD went to the Brooklyn Nets, I was like, all right, they have an easy path to make it to the finals, at the very least, because they're in the Eastern Conference, and even the other top tier teams, Celtics, Bucks, Sixers, you can throw the Heat in there. Like, these are two superstars still in their peak, KD and Kyrie, and then they throw in James Harden. I was like, shut it down. Congratulations to the future champions. And now you're throwing in Blake Griffin. Like, if they don't, there's no other expectation now. Like, even making the finals isn't enough. This is like almost like the Heat back in 2010 when Bosh, Wade, and LeBron came together. This is win or dip. Like, that's it. Like, yeah. And then remember, Blake is only signed for a year, so yeah, we'll see how that goes. And yeah, I think that's about sums it up. Just keeping y'all in, letting y'all know my thoughts, keeping y'all intact with Blake and what it means for the Nets. In a grander perspective, what it means for the Nets is that franchise, that organization, that brand is just growing exponentially now with these 4 stars. 4 stars, think about that. Blake Griffin, Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant, James Harden. These are 4 players that are incredibly fucking popular for the NBA, in the NBA, worldwide, not just, nationally in the US. So I'm expecting, even if they don't win the championship, the Brooklyn Nets won with these moves, because 5 years from now, 10 years from now, we saw with the Heat. I'm curious to see how many younger fans end up becoming Brooklyn Nets fans, because when they were a kid, a lot of their favorite players, ended up playing for the Nets, and then they ended up rooting for the Nets. You know what I'm saying? Because remember, all those 4 players I just mentioned, all have a sizable, some huge individual fan support, especially Kyrie and KD and Harden. And yeah. So keep that in mind. The Brooklyn Nets are probably going to be the most hated and the most loved team going into this postseason, because of everything I just mentioned. And then, having those 4 stars, nobody's gonna want. I even got a response from someone saying that they're a Nets fan, and this is why they don't fuck with player empowerment, low key, because like, yeah, too much star power, I guess, or whatever. And they said they wouldn't be happy even if the Nets won or some shit like that. I don't have the tweet in front of me, so I'm kind of just paraphrasing. But yeah, that about sums it up. We'll get back to you guys later with a normal episode. Until next time, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Y'all know what it is. Ball Talk Deep, where we talk deep about ball. Nah, I just ate that up, but whatever. Take care.